Hey, what up, what up? Welcome to today's episode of Straight Up Podcast. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Happy New Year. Well, it's the day before New Year. You'll hear this. Depends on when you hear this. And some of y'all might be hearing this and be like, this is not January 1st. This episode came out October 31st. Well, happy New Year's Eve, because for me, I celebrate New Year's on November 1st. And I'll tell you why. And this is not what the podcast episode is about. I'm actually going to share something powerful around the 10-minute mark. So make sure that you stay locked into this episode. Like, I'm going to share something that I believe that has really helped my career more than anything else. I'm going to share a moment to show you in real time how true it was from this past weekend. But we'll get into that. But I just want to talk about this real quick. The reason that I started adopting this like 10 years ago, probably longer than that, 13 years ago, is I used to do this run called New Beginnings Run. So on New Year's Eve, we would run through downtown Dallas, right? We would finish at Victory Park if you're from downtown. If you're from Dallas and Uptown, that's right where the Mavericks play, American Airlines Center. And that's where everybody takes in the new year. But we would run through Uptown. We would run through the bars. And the whole mindset behind this is that we're going to start our new year miles ahead of everybody else, because everybody has this New Year's resolution, right? And most people spend the new year getting wasted. Let's be real. No judgment. We spend the New Year's eating the wrong food, getting wasted. And literally we don't keep the commitment to ourselves that we just made. We lose the commitment within like 2 minutes. We lose the commitment. And so our whole thing was, not to try to make ourselves look better than somebody, but we're going to start it on the right foot. And so I said, man, what if we actually started this like 60 days ahead of time? Like, what if we started this on November 1st, and about time January 1st showed up, we were already the better version of ourselves instead of trying to become the better version of ourselves. So I tell you this because November 1st is rehab time, New Year. So when you hear me say Happy New Year, then that's what I mean, because in my mind, I'm already in 2023. I'm already there. And if you want to join this, if you hear this on Monday, if you listen to this after, it's probably too late, but all you have to do is text 817-242-2719. You can look in the show notes, my text community number. You can text that number. Just text the words NBG, because it stands for New Beginning Group, NBG, and that will put you in the group. If you join late, it's still cool, right? If you join December 1st, at least you're in the group, because I'm going to stay locked in and do some special things. So happy New Year's Eve to all the rehabbers out there and the people out there that are starting right now. Some of y'all might have started in September. So that's just the mindset that I'm on. So to get in the podcast episode, okay, that's that. I really want to talk about this because I've been hearing this my whole career, but I've been hearing this lately, and it's weird to me. It's like I appreciate it, but I think that it's so normal. But I realize that it's not normal because people are telling me that it's not normal. But I think it's normal because it's who I am. And people always ask me, like, what is the one thing or a few things that people probably don't know that has helped your career? And I tell people, yes, hard work, all these things, consistency, all the things that people talk about. But the main thing that has helped my career, that has opened up doors that my talent couldn't open, that has opened up doors that my hard work couldn't open, that has opened up doors that my name couldn't open, is simply this: me having, and this is who I am, right? This ain't no facade, and I'm gonna let y'all hear something in a minute, in about 8 minutes or so from now. But having the spirit of appreciation will change your life. When I look back on my journey, right, it wasn't just my talent. Of course, that played the big part, but it wasn't just my talent. It wasn't just the connections that I had. It was literally my spirit of appreciation. Me literally going out my way to show appreciation to others. Me saying thank you. Me having conversation and really being genuine and listening to people, being attentive, being a great listener will change your life. This is a side note. Some of you think being a hard worker will change your life. Well, that could be a part of it. But I'm telling you right now, a talent that most people don't have is being a great listener, because everybody wants to talk. And I know you hear me talk on the podcast, but in real life, like, I'm a speaker. I make my words count when they should count, but also I'm a phenomenal listener. You know what I mean? I take pride in being a listener. I take pride in making somebody feel like they're the most important person in the room, because in that moment, they are the most important person to me. Okay, but my spirit of appreciation has really changed my life. And I'll tell you a story real quick, how it's changed my life and how it's helped my life in a story. And I'm going to let you hear some in a minute from other people. So I remember there was this speaking engagement. Okay, and listen, let me say this. Don't have a spirit of appreciation just because of this. because then your intentions aren't pure, right? Have a spirit of appreciation because this is who you are. And I know this is one of these episodes that people might click off of, a spirit of appreciation. All right, Trent, yeah. But this is, I'm telling you, this is the thing that will separate you, because most people in this world don't have a spirit of appreciation. They have a damn spirit of entitlement. They feel like everybody owes them something. They feel like they shouldn't have to say thank you. That's that person's job. You see people treat waiters and treat people with disrespect. And I'm going to tell you right now, I told my athletes this. I'm going to tell you right now, the same person that you don't think that you need will end up being the main person that you need in your life. You never know how this world will turn the damn tables on you. And it might not just be for you. That person that you're treating like crap, that person that you ignored, that person that you think that you don't need, that person that you belittle. I always treat people greater than their title. Always. Because I see the greatness in them. I see the king in them. I see the queen in them. I don't treat them for where they're at. I treat them for where I know they should be and where they could go. And I'm going to tell you right now, that same person that you might not treat with respect, that might be serving your food, or it could be a person even on the street corner, or it could be a person that may be picking up your trash. You never know how life turns its tables. That could be the person that you need for something later on in your life. I'm telling you. I know people that has been in a position in society that society didn't celebrate, that end up being in a position in society that society celebrates within 5 years, within a year, within 10 years. You never know how you're going to need that person. And like I told my athletes, I said, you never know as you get older, that same person that you are not showing appreciation and gratitude to, that same person that you are bestowing your spirit of entitlement to, that could be the same person that holds the opportunity for your kids. And people don't forget, people remember. People might not remember what you said, but they for damn sure remember how you treat them. Story time. All right, let me go back to my story. Y'all got me going already. I remember this. It was probably like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. And I had to audition. You got to do this sometimes. I had to audition for a speech. It was a big company. Obviously, they wanted to vet me. They wanted to do all these things, right? So there were 2 guys that they were looking at, me and this other guy. Other guy's a phenomenal speaker too, a great person. And make a long story short, I mean, talents were pretty much similar. You know, I mean, I think I was a little bit better, you know what I mean? I just, you know, I believe in myself. Like you should believe in yourself. But, you know, talents were, you know, I guess from the outside were a little bit similar. It wasn't too much of a difference. But they ended up picking me. And I always ask people like, why me? Because I'm interested. You know what I mean? That's feedback. You should always ask for feedback. And hey, why did you say that to me? Or why do you treat me that way? And positive, or why'd you give me the opportunity? Because feedback is very important. All right, why didn't I get the opportunity? Feedback is very important. So I asked the guy after I speak, I said, hey man, I got to ask you a question. Like, first of all, thank you for the opportunity again, but like, why me? Why did you pick me? He said, Trent, I'll tell you this. You guys were very close, but so far separated. I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? He said, yeah, you were close in talent. I could have went with any one of you in talent, but you did something that he didn't do that might have seemed simple to you, but it was major to me because it showed me your character, it showed me who you are. And I don't want just a person of talent on my stage. I want a man of character on my stage. And I said, okay, what did I do? Because I'm thinking in my head like, okay, what did I do? I didn't do nothing special. He said, you said, thank you for the opportunity. Whether I get this or not, I just appreciate you giving me a chance to be on your stage. He told me at that moment, I knew that you were my guy. He said, because a lot of people in your position, what you're following, you know what I mean, just where you're at in life, they have this spirit of entitlement. They feel like, you know, like they deserve it, even if they haven't earned it. They feel like, you know, they on top of the world and nobody can tell them nothing. But your humble spirit, I can tell that it's pure because honestly, he told me, so I've watched you. I've gotten feedback from other people about you. And one thing that's consistent about you, they say Trent is one of the kindest spirits. You wouldn't think Trent is Trent when you're around him. And he said that let me know that it wasn't even close because of your spirit of appreciation. And I look back on my life, y'all, and I really want this to hit home with you. I look back on my life and I've realized that thank you has opened up more doors for my life than hard work has ever in my life. Now, I'm not telling y'all don't work hard. Hard work played a big part, right? Hard work can get you in the door. Don't take this out of context. But having a spirit of appreciation has opened up more opportunities for my life. I can tell you one more story, and I'll be very quick with this. Then I want to share a moment with you that somebody shared on social media about me, and I'm going to talk about that moment. I got hired for something that I wasn't even searching for, but something that I really wanted. And I'm not going to say what it is right now, but I'm a part of it because I don't want to take, that's not that important. It's important, very important, but I don't want to make that the focus. So the guy interviews me and we talk back and forth. And as we're talking and I'm sharing why I want to be a part of this, how grateful I am and how thankful I am and how this means so much to my soul, how I care. I didn't talk about how much you're going to pay me. I didn't talk about money. I just talked about serving. The dude got quiet, so quiet. I had to look at my phone and see if he was still there. And he told me, man, Trent, I'm about to cry because everybody we sourced, the first thing they talked about was money. The first thing they talked about is, how they're going to be on the flyer. The first thing they talked about was all these significant things. They were so entitled. They had all these lists of things. The first thing you did was say, I appreciate you, man, for even thinking about me. The first thing you did was say, man, I just want to serve. And he said, that has separated you quickly. He said, yeah, those other guys, maybe we might even thought we're more talented than you, or maybe they were close in talent than you. But we don't care about that. We care about the heart. And we realize that nobody came close to you when it came to your heart and how much that you care. So I want to tell everybody listening to this right now, man, listen, life has a way of trying to make you get your head up in the clouds. And this is what I mean. My grandmother told me this a long time ago, and I'll never forget it. This is one of the reasons why I make sure I practice humbleness. I make sure I practice appreciation. I make sure I practice gratitude as much as I can. My grandmother told me this a long time ago. She said, Trent, when the world tries to get your head up in the clouds, let your humbleness keep your feet on the ground. When the world tries to get your head up in the clouds, let your humbleness, right? Let your appreciation, let your gratitude, let you remembering where you came from, let you remember your mission, keep your feet on the ground. What my grandmother was telling me, as you grow, don't lose yourself. As people praise you, don't put yourself on a pedestal. As you continue to climb, don't feel like you are entitled to everything, because entitlement leads to destruction. We have a world full of people right now that feel entitled. Right? I'm not telling you you shouldn't get what you deserve. Don't take this out of context. But we have a world full of people that feel like they're entitled. We have a world full of people that get a little bit of success and they never had no significance in their life. So they get a taste of success and then they act a damn fool. They get a taste of success, then they change in a negative way of who they are. They get a taste of success, they forget where they come from. They start treating people a certain type of way. And I don't want that to be you, because the spirit of entitlement, again, will lead your life to freaking destruction at some point. When you start smelling yourself and feeling yourself, I'm going to tell you right now, destruction is near. It is coming in your near future. I want to share something with y'all right quick. And this was from my Instagram. This is from an event, because I want to share real time. I'm not just talking this. And I know some of you have met me in person, and I'm not wearing this as to brag. But hopefully this will inspire you to keep having that good heart. This will inspire you to keep showing love. This will inspire you to keep that spirit of humbleness, not in the way of, of turning down your greatness, not in the way of turning down your confidence, right? But you can still be appreciative for life and where you're at. But this is what somebody shared about me on their stories from this past event that I went to last week. I want y'all to listen to this. All right, so you heard that. And if you're on YouTube, you're probably watching me just listening. Sorry, y'all. You got to listen to the podcast. You want to listen to that if you're listening to me on YouTube. But that might seem like weird because I'm just sitting here. But you heard that, right? That was from this past weekend. And yes, I still have a torn Achilles. And yes, I stood for 3 hours and talked to every person. Not for no badge of honor. It wasn't no cameras around. I wasn't going to share this. But I was sharing this because hopefully this can inspire you to keep doing the right thing. But I stood there and I talked to every person. I was actually, they had to tell me this we had to leave. because I take my time with people. And I'm sure people out there say, hey, Trent, I hit you up one time, you didn't respond. I'm a human. You know what I mean? But I can definitely tell you that in person, if you ever came to talk to me, I've never been the person to push people away. I've never been the person to hide and run from the people that support me, from their stories. And I'll tell you why I do this, and I've been doing this. When I had my own events, even though I was tired and drained, and listen, don't feel guilty if you can't handle all of that, right? I'm an introvert. You have your energy sometimes drained. I'm not telling you that you have to do these things, like manage your energy. But I will tell you this. With my events, I met every person, not just VIP. I met every person. I talked to every person to the point my team said, we got to do something about this because Trent, you are giving way too much of yourself. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm giving all of me to these people because I know what I mean to these people. And I would sit there and I would listen to story after story. I wouldn't send people to a website to coach them in that moment. If you had a question, I wasn't telling you, hey, join my mastermind in that moment. No. Okay, I'll give you the answer right now, and I'll give you my heart and my undivided attention because I truly care about this, man. This ain't no gimmick. This ain't no success thing. See, this is the thing, and I hate to say this, and I'm going to be real with you, but if you took the fame away, a lot of these people online would disappear. If you took the money away, a lot of these people that with these so-called callings on their life would disappear because it ain't real for them. What makes it real for them is the followers. What makes it real for them is the dollars. What makes it real for them is the significance. What makes it real for them is the fame. If you take all that away, a lot of these people would disappear. I didn't get into this game on no business stuff. I got into this game on some personal stuff. I got into this game because of somebody committing suicide. Y'all know my story. So it's different for me. So if I can be the person I made a promise, a commitment to my dog. Said I'm going to be an ear for people that need one. And sometimes, I'm a human. Maybe I'm not that ear. Somebody can say, Trent, I hit you up, you didn't respond. Like charge to my mind, not my heart. Right? I might didn't see it, but I promise you one thing, that's me in my DMs. I promise you one thing, that's me responding to people. That's me. And I'm not saying that's the way to do it. I'm not trying to make people feel like they're doing it wrong. But I only can speak for me, but I promised my dog this. I said, hey, I'm going to live the rest of my life, bro, being the ear for people when they need it. Right? I ain't gonna be overdoing it, trying to help everybody, just to help, like in a way of like pushing myself on people. That's not me. But when people need me, I'm there. I'm gonna be an ear for people. And I'm also going to be a voice for people. And I've been doing this for the last 13 years. So people are making me feel like I'm some superhero. I'm like, this is normal. Like, this is just who I am. I ain't no superhero because of this. But I'll tell you why I do this, and I'm going to leave today. I don't want to make this episode too long, but I'll tell you why I do this. When I meet people and talk to people, for one, these are the people that support me. These are the people that make it possible for me. So why would I run from them? Even if it's somebody who don't support me, I have a chance to speak life into somebody's life that could still save a life. So why would I take that time? Why would I take 2 minutes out of my day? What else? I'm going to be in my hotel room or somewhere else doing nothing with my life when I can be an ear or a voice for somebody? I can be an ear that somebody can get off their chest what they need to get off their chest, and I can be a voice to give impact and inspiration and hope to somebody. So that's the first thing. People that's Trent, you had a torn Achilles. Why did you think? I wasn't even thinking about my Achilles because I was thinking about the people right in front of my face. The second thing is, just as much as I'm helping them, they're helping me. They're reminding me of why I do what I do by telling their stories. Trent, when you spoke, you said this and this impacted me. It reminds me of my purpose. It reminds me of my power. Because sometimes as a human, I can forget these things. And every time I have a conversation, it reminds me to keep going. It reminds me to keep showing up. It reminds me to go harder. It reminds me to keep pushing forward. It reminds me to break through even when I feel like I'm breaking down because I'm having these conversations that a lot of people are running from. And that's why a lot of people feel disconnected because they're not connected to those that support them. They're not connected to their mission. They're not connected to the people. But they're connected to the possessions, but they ain't connected to the purpose. So that's why I do what I do. And I'm going to end it here, man. Have that spirit of appreciation. Have that spirit of gratitude, and it will change your life. When the world tries to get your head in the clouds, make sure you keep your damn feet planted on the ground. But like I tell you, at the end of every single podcast episode, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it. Share this if you feel this. Somebody needs to hear it, man.